Hey, y'all, or shall I say, what is going on, world? Kevin out here with your Manly Musings podcast, along with producer Andrew. You
What's up,
notice
y'all?
yep. You notice the intro is different today. It's because my lovely counterpart is enjoying himself in Aruba on his yearly Aruba trip. Merritt, you deserve it. Go ahead and enjoy that trip.
Live
And
it
I'm
up.
going to see him on Sunday, which will be very exciting, which we'll get to later on. But yeah, you got me and Andrew tonight on this lovely, lovely
So,
Wednesday. Whenever you hear this, hopefully you enjoy it. We're going to kind of go through the normal stuff that we usually go through, weekly sports update, and then we're gonna talk about some March Madness because I did not know Andrew does not know the processes of March Madness. So we're gonna go over some basics, take a look into some things, maybe do some predictions. Maybe we'll look back at episode, I want to say 2, 3, or 4 from this season, to see what our predictions were for that we had with Cyrus
three.
and episode 3.
Yeah.
And we'll see how we went. I think I looked back at some of my answers and I look super foolish now. But Andrew, how we living, sir?
We're living well. We're living well. Midterms this week, so
Ooh,
school's definitely coming in hard right now. But it's been good. Spring break next week. I turn 20
spring,
very soon,
spring
so
break. He's turning 20. Love it. Love it. Love it.
yeah.
Love it. All right. So we shall go ahead and start off our weekly sports update. First one, some little bit of some more serious news. So Vanessa Bryant has settled the crash photos lawsuit. She went ahead and ended up settling for 28.85 million. So if you guys are not familiar, the lawsuit was out when police officers, if I remember correctly, ended up like sending out photos of the plane crash of when Kobe died, and they were shared around the police academy or police sheriff's department, and
The
pretty
sheriff's
much,
department,
yeah. So
Los Angeles County,
yeah,
and fire.
that's yes. So the fact that they were shared like that, number one, it was horrible, and I'm happy that they were able to. Vanessa was able to get the money that she wanted out of this. I was just reading into co-plaintiff Chris Chester, whose wife and daughter were killed in the crash. He received 19.95 million from the settlement. So I'm really glad that this is all settled. You know, those type of things you should not be messing around with.
No,
Just the fact that they were spreading their photos around like that is horrible. And screw those people. They deserve to
yeah.
pay every single penny. Any other thoughts on that, Andrew?
I think you summed it up pretty good. This is the sort of thing where like people he's a big star. He meant a lot to a lot of people, so you sort of like, if you have those pictures, I can understand the sort of like pressure to share them with people, but like that's celebrities are people, so they have important people in their lives, and when they die and this sort of thing happens, you need to sort of pay respect to them as people, and not as much as like a societal icon. Like Kobe's wife is the mother of his children, and I can only imagine like the pain and trauma that she went through. So to have to deal with all these pictures being shared and like coming out and stuff, that's not cool. And I'm glad that she got her bag for going through that. And the people that did this were held accountable.
Very well said. Moving on, we got LeBron. Speaking of LA, LeBron had a diagnosis on his foot, and it's looking like he's going to be out for several weeks.
Yeah.
I know that's going to make Merritt happy because I know he hates LeBron, but this is a definite shot in their playoff hopes if they're really going to try
Yeah.
and make a run. Uh, in order for them to make that run, they definitely are going to need LeBron to be ready and to be playing as the LeBron that at least I know and love. Um, but you know, I don't. It's gonna be tough now because
Yeah,
they do have a lot of better pieces. I definitely
that's
think the
true.
team is in a lot better shape with guys like D'Angelo Russell back on in the frame of things. Jared
AD's back from
Vanderbilt.
injury.
Yep, AD is his ankles have not exploded yet.
No, not yet
And,
again.
yeah, and shout out to Jared. Is it Jared Vanderbilt? Right,
Yeah, I believe so. I can look one sec.
man. The the defense he was putting on Luka for them to win that game. You know, I heard of him for years, but it looks like we might have a breakout star to help support, and he's still fairly young. So we'll see what happens with the Lakers. It's gonna be a long road because that Western Conference is deep and very competitive. I think a lot of those teams are close together when it comes in the standings, so every game is really going to count. So I think it's just a matter of us staying tuned. You have any updates on those standings, Andrew? I'm pretty sure the
These
Lakers are like they're like 13th, but it's like the separation between like the playing teams and them is not very far.
No, the Lakers. So from what I'm looking at, their percentage of making the playoffs has dropped about 18%, expecting
Oh,
LeBron to be out for about 2 weeks ish. They're sitting at 12th right now in the West, right behind the Trailblazers. It's looking like it's the West is looking deep right now, which is something that's sort of surprising to me. But you get the only one that's really like safe are like the top 3 or 4. But after that, you get the Warriors are in 5th and they're only 3 games ahead of the Lakers.
oh my
So
goodness.
I think as much as this is scary, if the rest of the Lakers can pull together and they can stay in it and win at least a few of these games, I think they got a shot. Especially with the new team and how they've made a bunch of moves. They got Ryu and
My
D'Angelo
guy.
Russell. So I think they can do it, but it's gonna be hard, that's for sure. And it was gonna be hard beforehand. So
Yeah, the West is no joke, and it's hard to see a LeBron team just not making the playoffs
yeah,
again. But I think they're in a lot better spot than they were ending last year. So they can
yes.
continue to build off of this, continue to get some younger talent to surround him with, get him some shooters.
Mhm.
D'Angelo Russell. I mean, he's not the greatest shooter, but he's a lot better than Pat Bev, and
Yeah.
definitely way better than Westbrook at this
Yeah,
rate.
Russ.
So, fingers crossed for my Lakers to turn it around. It's just, patience is a virtue, but you know, it's good. They're gonna
Also,
need some lady luck on their side as well.
taking a look at their schedule, it's not exactly the hardest lineup. They have Timberwolves, Thunder, the Knicks, the Raptors, the Pelicans, the Rockets, the Mavericks, who have been on like a pretty bad streak right now.
Really
Have you
bad
seen that?
streak.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
With
think they're
Kyrie
only
and Luca
one and
playing, they're like
four.
1-4, one and
Woo!
five, something like that with the two of them. So like not to say that I'm calling it, but like I was saying, their offensive production is going to be good, but their defense is a bit struggling right now,
Mm,
especially in crunch time. They're not pulling through. So I think looking at this schedule, I can see it happening, but it's going to be tough.
yeah, definitely gonna need some help along the way with some teams floundering, i.e., maybe someone like the Mavs.
Yeah.
All right. So there we got LeBron. We're gonna get a little hockey, just because I'm a huge New York Rangers fan. Patrick Kane, one of the stars from, if I remember, I want to say Chicago, I think is where he played.
Yep,
Correct me.
Blackhawks.
Yes, star on the Blackhawks, getting traded to New York City. Uh, I know I don't know too much about like him personally, but I just know the name and I know he was what made it happen in Chicago. So the
It's
fact
been
that
around for a while.
yeah, he's a seasoned vet. The Rangers are all on the younger side and having a pretty good season. So we shall definitely see if the trade's going to work out. I know they were having some snags with it in the beginning of the week of it coming through, but it finally finalized around in the evening and yesterday. So shout out to Patrick Kane. Shout out to my Rangers. I would love to see a Rangers game live, but I know it's coming towards the end of the season. We'll see what happens. But shout out to my Rangers. I just need to throw that in there because I know Merritt always likes to throw his random Boston Red Sox facts in there.
Yeah.
So I wanted to throw in a New York Rangers of mine.
They're
And
also doing it for
this,
mad cheap. I don't know if you know this. This part, Chicago's retaining 50% of the $10 million contract, and the Coyotes, Arizona's team, is also signed on to take 50%, meaning that Kane only costs the Rangers about 2.6 mil right now,
that's lit. That
which is
is
crazy, especially for
so
someone
crazy.
who's this established in the NHL. Not
You got
like I'm
any
not a huge hockey guy, but
you got any stats on this on Patrick Kane that we should know
um
about?
Patrick Kane, let's look. I can get you some good stats.
So this is why it's
He
so great to have Andrew on the podcast because he's fast at the computer. Because Lord only knows if I try to start looking for this, our Zoom meeting would absolutely crash. Knock on wood. But he's got the fast internet. He's
I
good
got
with
the
the
school internet.
technology. So yes.
So
Well, what do we got?
he's been playing in the NHL since 2007. He's been with the Blackhawks the whole time. He's got 16 goals on the year. He's got 29 assists, 45 points, which is a different stat in hockey, which basically means a goal or an assist, and a number of goals plus assists equals your total points. So that's what that stat is.
Nice.
It looks like he's only got 10 penalties on the year. So he looks to be a pretty consistent playoff player when they get to the playoffs, but the Hawks have been struggling to make the playoffs recently. So it's not great, but he's very closely coming up on 450 career goals. So to me, that seems pretty freaking good. He was all NHL second team a few years ago. He's been in the All-Star game in 2009, 2011, 2012, 2015, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20.
Ooh.
So he's been kind of on a tear. He's a three-time champ, 2010, 2013, and 2015. First All-Star team 2010, 2016, 2017. So he's sort of coming to the end of his career, but he's definitely had a very prolific and well-documented career.
That's crazy.
So good luck to your Rangers.
Yes, good luck to us. Real quick before you move on, Andrew, are we at episode 74 overall or episode 75?
This is episode 74 overall, if I have done my math correctly. Yes, 74 overall.
Wow, we are like out here.
Yeah,
we are out here. Sorry, people. I was just trying to because normally I usually enter all the stuff in because Merritt sometimes forgets. But oh my God, we're at episode 74. So next week will be episode 75 overall, 25 away from
the
100. That's so sick.
Yeah, we're doing good. Speaking of We're Out Here, there's been a new We're Out Here episode posted since our previous episode. So go and watch that. My man Kevin and Merritt go to, or no, just you, Kevin, this one.
This one is going to be with me and our favorite Duke Blue Devil, Cyrus Johnson Jr. I think my favorite part of that entire video is I caught Cyrus going on a tyrant about how bad the Sixers were just letting Jalen Brunson go into the lane and do the same thing over and over. I wish I had a camera rolling the entire time we were sitting down because Cyrus was going at it, talking basketball with all of these season ticket holders in the area, and they're like his best friend. So
he was just talking shop, working through it.
Yeah, just talking shop, and they're like, literally all were like, wow. Normally we don't take shit from people who talk, but you knew what you was talking about. And I was like, yeah, that's right. Put some respect on Cyrus's name. So shout out to Big Cy. He's rocking out. I know he wasn't with us last week because I forgot that he has a new part-time job that he's just using for extra money. So shout out to my guy Cyrus doing what he does. We'll have him back on soon. I know we're gonna have to because I
Of
know
course.
we're literally making our ways around because you guys have seen 2 episodes ago. We had the wrestling episode. We're gonna end up probably having another one because of the fact that WrestleMania is coming up in the beginning of April. So stay tuned for that. And yeah, I just needed to bring that up. But Andrew, this next topic you have, I saw it this morning after you sent it and you explained some of it to me before we started the recording. But can you go ahead and guide the people on what is this craziness we keep hearing?
Yeah, so it turns out there's some stuff going on with John Morant. Um, there's been two like situations per se, alleged interactions with him. One at the Memphis Mall with a security guard and an employee at a finish line. Apparently his mom got into some sort of altercation at the store and she ended up calling him, and he and his, I don't know, posse per se, about like 8 or 10 people showed up and they were antagonizing them. They eventually got kicked out of the mall, and it's reported that he was verbally like threatening and saying like, let me find out when these guys get off of work, I'll be back, that sort of thing, and apparently shoving the security guard and that sort of stuff, which is, it seems not that bad. But when you take into context this other thing that's just recently come out, where apparently he physically assaulted a 17-year-old last August. So allegedly there was a pickup basketball game with I imagine a larger group from what it seems like, which turned physical with Ja punching this 17-year-old kid like 12 to 13 times, at least a few times in the head, because police have quoted to have seen a large knot growing on the side of his head. The kid claims that the game was just getting physical and that Ja checked the ball really hard at him. He caught it, he checked it back, and the ball slipped and hit Ja. And then the physical altercation starts. They get pulled off each other. Ja goes in the house, and apparently he comes back with a gun. It doesn't, no, nothing happens after that from what we know yet, but he's definitely like seen as very aggressive in this sort of situation, pulling out a gun on a minor. But Ja claims that the kid threw the ball at him in like a malicious sort of way and he was defending himself, but he does admit that he swung first on the kid, which, I mean, I respect the fact that he's admitting to it, but it's never a good look as a multimillionaire professional sports player to be punching a 17-year-old.
A grown man.
Yeah, he is a grown man, as we've seen. So this is not a great look for Ja. The parent, Ja, claims that the kid also was threatening that he was going to come back to the house, but that was in a police report filed weeks later after the event, so we have no idea how true that sort of situation is, and there's no report on if the kid actually said that sort of thing. Ja Morant's agent has spoken out recently claiming that this is all unsubstantiated gossip, but we haven't heard much recently from Ja and the people that were with him at these events. But these they're not great allegations for like a rising star in the NBA, especially when
Yeah.
you take into account how like heated he gets during the games. I can only imagine.
Yeah.
We've seen people in his position make mistakes that can
Yes.
ruin careers and lives. So
That's what I'm saying. That's what was my thoughts when all this is coming out. You are talking about some really horrific things,
yeah, yeah,
causing a disturbance in a public setting.
yeah.
You know,
With bringing people to an already existing conflict and an altercation that doesn't need to be made any worse.
yeah, you're talking about like the fact that he punched a 17-year-old. He's a minor. He's an adult.
Yeah,
He's a minor. Punched a 17-year-old. And I'm curious if the kid said the reason why he had the bump was just because he didn't want to get him in trouble or something. But
Yeah.
that's like really frightening and disturbing to me. I'm not gonna mention the names. We've no names that we've
Yeah.
gone over in sports history where the acting up like this, even though they are a complete star,
Yeah.
is, that can spiral for the worst.
Yeah. You
Um,
don't want to, let alone like the implications of these actions. But when you're on this stage, even if
yeah,
like we weren't here, so we obviously don't know the context and stuff. So I'm not to say that if the 17-year-old kid was like causing this, and he claims to be acting in self-defense. So if he was actually fearing that this kid was going to do something to him, which I don't think he should be in a position to be in that sort of mindset, but if he was, even at this level, you sort of just have to understand that like no matter what happens, like you have this image, and you
hmm
don't want to tamper with that. You don't want to put yourself in situations where you can really do this. And I don't know Ja's group, and I don't know like who he associates with, but we've also heard stuff recently about his acquaintances harassing Indiana Pacers employees and like shining lasers at people on the sidelines
yeah,
and stuff. So I can look into that a little bit more, but
yeah. I remember that from a couple of weeks back, and it's just extremely disturbing. Like, who are these people that you're hanging out with, and they feel like it's okay to act like this? In
yeah,
John Morant's position, you are a star on a budding team that is on the rise. I look at outside the court. You are now a new Nike signature
yeah,
holder of a new signature shoe. Like, you are in right now with everyone. Like, you need to be acting yourself accordingly. And it's a little concerning, if I should say,
yeah.
that these
So
actions are happening. And I gotta say, like he said, you mentioned he did it in self-defense. How big can this 17-year-old
yeah,
be? Like, is he
yeah,
like 6'9"? Because
yeah.
John Morant is what, 6'2",
Uh,
6'3"?
John
That's
Morant,
that's technically kind of tall in like
he's
the average world.
he's 6'2", 180. So
Yeah,
he's
like
my height, but he weighs 60 pounds. No, not 60, that's wrong. 40 pounds more than me, which is probably, he's a basketball player, so it's probably pure muscle.
yeah,
So if you're in that position and a 17-year-old kid is pushing up on you, like
it doesn't
how
add
many
up.
how many 17-year-old kids are like, let's say 6'6", 200? Like are we like how, I'm not sure. Especially with, I've just read some more about this altercation with the Pacers, where it seems like I don't know if you remember this, but there was like a little bit of like a sideline scuffle towards the end of the Pacers game with the Grizzlies a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
And one of Ja's friends or acquaintances started pointing lasers at the Pacers staff and getting aggressive with them during this. And the Pacers staff and security were concerned that the laser was possibly attached to a gun. They don't know
Mm.
that 100% sure, but there's a quote saying that they felt they were in grave danger, and at least two people were removed from the arena, which it seemed like about 15, 20 minutes later, Ja got in an SUV with them and slowly drove through the parking lot, pointing the laser out of the window of the car. So I don't know. It's seeming these aren't great. This is not a great look for a professional sports player and an
No,
athlete.
no, you
Like
should
on
not.
a public level, this is not the actions we're looking for.
Yeah, like, why are we shining lasers at the Indiana Pacers? It's
Yeah.
just, it
Why are we getting
doesn't.
aggressive with people that work at arenas? Like
Yeah,
that's
like,
they're not
why?
involved. They're just trying to
They're
work, bro.
they're just trying to make a dollar, and you
Yeah.
giving them a hard time. Like, it's already difficult
Yeah.
enough to work in a place like that
Oh, I can
from
completely
someone who
imagine.
knows. So, like, now you just got to act like you're an animal.
Yeah.
Uh, Frustrates me. Absolutely frustrates me. All right. So that's what we got so far for weekly sports update. Hopefully, Merritt, when you hear this, you enjoy it, or you'll probably start laughing because you'll be like,
Probably make fun of us
Evan
next
and
week for
Andrew
not
have
knowing enough.
no idea what the they're talking about. All right. But of course, next up is our WVU news as we always do. This weekend, men's basketball. Tough, very tough loss to the University of Kansas. Like, if there was a year to beat them at the Fog, we had
It was this one.
every opportunity to get it this year, and we dropped the ball,
It's
literally.
a close game, 76-74.
Yeah, technically could have easily won it, but I don't know what Joe Toussaint was doing, just dribbling like he's a Harlem Globetrotter for the entire time, and then he ends up traveling. But
Yep.
on the hindsight, kudos to him for having a hell of a bounce back game yesterday. So I'm not even gonna lie, Andrew. I was like watching the game, but like not watching the game. And
Yeah.
I'm just like on my computer doing what I do. And then I look up and I'm like, wait, holy shit.
Yeah.
Did they just get the lead back?
Yeah.
And it's like 40 seconds left. And they held the lead for 40 seconds.
They held
And
on.
West Virginia got themselves a quad one win
Yep.
at Iowa State, which was much needed, bringing them to, Andrew, correct me if I'm wrong. Are we 17 and 13?
Yes, 17 and 13 with a 72-69 win over Iowa
Yes.
State.
Yes.
Just to be
Hell
clear.
with those Cyclones.
Yep.
But we have a game against Kansas State at home. It's senior day.
Yep.
So I really hope they're getting the rest of this week off until Saturday. I really hope they come guns a-blazing at the Coliseum. I hope the Coliseum gets packed for them so that the seniors can go on a high note. Last games for guys like Eric Stevenson, Joe Toussaint, Kedrian Johnson, all going to be performing their last games. And so other seniors like Jimmy Bell, starting center, Trey Mitchell, I think he's a senior, considered a senior. So I just really hope we can come out swinging and just get this win to get us to 18, because everybody's been saying 18 is the magic number. Yep. And we're right there. So it'll be interesting. And if we can, and we've talked about it so many episodes, we can literally beat anybody. We can literally beat anybody in this conference. It's a matter of just having the luck of the draw and honestly making your shots. I know right now it's just going to be tough because a couple of our big men are out. We don't have Mohamed Wagyu, got a stress fracture in his foot. James Okonkwo rolled his ankle in the beginning of yesterday's game. So Emmett Matthews, senior, is another senior. He's playing center and he really plays like shooting guard and small forward. So playing a little small ball. But yeah.
It's not that bad.
Yes.
Small ball is definitely a possible look for us.
Yeah.
Just to mention this, we swept Iowa State this year. Beat them both times. So
yeah. It's really good. So fingers crossed that we can make it happen. This team, it just gets my blood pressure going. It's hard for me to watch. Like, I can be watching, they'll be up by 20, then all of a sudden the lead is like they lose by 5. And it's just so much of a roller coaster, like this whole season has been. But it looks like everyone is starting to gel. It looks like Huggins has kind of tinkered his roster of like certain people he wants to play, which is fine. But we have to do the little things. You got to make your free throws. Can't be turning the ball over, and you got to get your rebounds. So we shall see. I haven't lost faith in us yet. I think we can maybe get a game during the Big 12 tournament as well. We get one of those, maybe make a run somehow. But what else are your thoughts, Andrew? Anything else that you want to add?
So I've mentioned this a few times. Up until recently, I'm not a huge follower of college sports, but as I've become adopted by my WU alum friends, I've gotten more and more into watching them, and I've seen a few of the more recent games, and it seems we have a really good way of like dominating and like rolling and we get a good lead, and it's it's like watching the Celtics last season. It's like you're up 20-15 and you just don't know how to just ride it. Just stay the course. We don't need to go up 40, but we should be able to not lose by 5, by 4 when you have a lead that sizable that late in the game. I'm hoping from everything that I've been reading, we're looking pretty good for the tournament coming up. So I'm not 100%, like I said, I'm not super knowledgeable on this sort of thing, but it definitely seems likely and possible for us to do something big.
Yeah, so pretty much after our win at Iowa State, Joe Lunardi did move us up. He took us away to the last 4 buys and pretty much said that we were one of the last ones in, as I think I want to say an 11 seed, which isn't too terrible. But I think if we're getting to the tournament and we can just get everybody's head right, I think we could be a very scary team to meet in the tournament. Like, I don't think people would want to play against us just because of the fact that we're a very physical team.
Yeah.
We're very,
we match up well. We can play small, we can play big.
Yeah, if any of the big guys can come back by the time the tournament comes.
Yeah, that's big. And like we were saying, it might have been last week or a few weeks ago when I was on the pod. Big 12 is stacked. So if we fall low in seeding, it can be scary to guys who are doing well in other conferences to have to come in and play us. So that's, I think you're right on there.
Yes. All right. Look at us moving right along. We might have the fastest podcast ever.
Shortest podcast ever.
All right. So Kevin's jersey or wrestling shirt segment, Andrew's Hatter jersey. So for me, I have, in honor of our win this week, I had to get me one of my West Virginia jerseys. This is actually a women's jersey, an older one. If you can see kind of where it's kind of faded, and there were patches on there that they removed. On the back, it still has the Big East logo when they were in the Big East. I got this when I was in college, my senior year. I remember I worked a gear sale when they were selling this stuff, and I never forget. I just remember person who was in charge, cool person. He goes, "Hey, anybody that's in here, when I say go, you can grab whatever you can carry with your own 2 hands is yours." And I just remember going nuts, and I grabbed as much as I could. And I remember there was this fraternity kid, and he was standing by all the jerseys, like, and I was like, I'm grabbing one of these jerseys. He goes, "No, you're not." I'm like, "I'm grabbing one of these jerseys." And he's like, "No, it's for all my fraternity brothers." All right, well, I don't see your fraternity brothers anywhere. So I'm going to grab one of these jerseys. Let me know which one I can take. And he's like, "Yeah, I don't know which one you can have. They're for my brothers." I'm like, "Well, I'm going to take one, and then you're going to make a decision on which one I'm going to take." So I think
if you don't pick, I'm going to pick right now. And you're not going to like what I pick. So.
Yeah. So I think I remember I originally grabbed a number 0.
Yeah.
And he goes, "Oh, no. Someone wanted that one. Please don't take. You can take what." And when he realized that I was I was not leaving without one of these jerseys in my hand, he had his ones that I could pick from. So then I took this one. I took a blue one that maybe I'll wear on the podcast. And I took another white one as well. Nice. So that was fun, but I'll just never forget that moment where this one dude, where he was like, "These are for my fraternity brothers." And I'm like, "Well, where's your fraternity brothers at? I see
they're not
no
here."
fraternity brothers right now." So shout out to me having a little bit of confidence out here and let them know that I was not. Yeah. I have a bunch of different shorts that I have. I think I even gave a couple away because, like, I didn't realize they were like 2, 3X. I think I gave one to like my buddy Khalif. I think I gave one to Ronald. But yeah, I still have these jerseys. I did a little purge of like some of my Mountaineer gear earlier this last spring. And I remember just making sure, yeah, this one, these are just not going anywhere. Like what I'll do is worst comes to worse when I'm old and I need.
Okay, so I think Kevin is frozen, but I could be frozen, so I'm not 100% sure. um, so we're just gonna sit here for a few seconds until we can tell what's going on.
Hello,
Hello?
can you
Are
hear
you
me?
there? Yeah, okay, wait. Did you
We,
freeze or did I freeze? What was going
I
on
think
there?
we both froze, which was
Okay.
epic. So
I'll be interested to
hopefully,
see what happens in like the when I get the video to see like do we both just like freeze for a second or
yeah. But
okay.
I don't know what did you hear? What was the last thing you heard from me?
You were saying you purged your stuff and you were keeping
Yes.
those
Yeah,
when
I
you
kind of
found them.
said, yeah, I pretty much told myself I'm not ever gonna get rid of these. What I'll
Yeah.
do is, worst comes to worst, I'll put them in a frame and I'll
Oh
hang
yeah.
it in like a man cave or
Oh
something.
yeah. Or even like a hallway, like stairwell or something. Be
Yes,
great.
yes. All right. So what do we have next, Andrew?
Well, I gotta talk about my jersey real quick.
Yes, yes, yes.
So a few weeks ago, I mentioned on the pod that I only buy bootleg jerseys. And that Kevin sends me a lot of video clips for the We Out Here. It's just for reference. I get somewhere between 35 and 65 videos that get cut down to somewhere between 10-ish to 25-ish minute videos. So it's a lot of content. And I'm really appreciative of the vast amount of content because I can make a good video out of it, or at least I like to think they're pretty good. And
They're
Kevin wanted,
good. They're
no,
good.
thank you.
They're good.
Kevin wanted to send me an appreciatory gift. And so I received a package in the mail, which was filed wrong in the mailroom. I figured out what happened. They booked it. The box you sent had the return address label and the sending label at the same size. So they filed it under Kevin Cueva in the mailroom. But there's no one named Kevin Cueva at my school. So
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
I went to the mailroom and I was like, I should have a package. It should have come like a week ago. And they were like, do you know like what's your name? And I was like, Andrew. And then I showed them my ID. And then like, we don't have anything for you. And I was like, well, and they were like, do you know who it came from? And I was like, well, it should be a USPS box. And they were like, is it from New York or like New Jersey? And I was like, it's from a Kevin Cueva. And they were like, oh yeah, we have this box. We just don't know who it's for. And I was like, it's for me. Um, I
That
don't
is
know if
hilarious.
I don't know if I still have the box, but it has it like big written in Sharpie, like Kevin Cueva with a big question mark next to it.
That
So
is
Kevin sent
amazing.
me, he sent me two jerseys, like an absolute legend. And I'm gonna wear another one on the pod eventually, so I'm not gonna spoil who it is. But he sent me Dame Dollar,
Love
the
it.
Portland Trail Blazers. And so I'm wearing it in honor of his 71-point game the other day.
Dude, I watched that live on the
I saw a
NBA
lot of
app
that game.
and
Yeah.
I was like, you know,
He just looked
I
hot. He
it's
came,
he was just crushing it. Like
yeah.
anytime he let it go, it was going in. And I was
Yeah.
like,
Oh
yep,
yeah.
there's
He
another
hit
one.
13 threes, I think, or something.
Out of control. And I think I remember, like, I forgot who talked about it with him. I don't know if it was him that mentioned it because there was something where it was talking about, well, why does Dame want to just stay in Portland? And I think it was either Charles Barkley or some commentator that talks about it, where he's like, sometimes you got to understand that people just want to be successful and where they are.
Yeah.
You know, he compared Dame to Russell Westbrook. They go, well, take a look at Russell Westbrook. He was
Yeah.
incredible for as many years in OKC. Then they traded him to Houston. James
It's
Harden
been
wanted out.
4 teams in 4 years
Yeah, and then
since.
he went to the Wizards. Then that didn't work out, and then he went to the Lakers. We all know how that turned out.
Yeah.
And then
Now he's on the
now
Clippers.
he's on the Clippers. So and it makes sense because I respect Dame for the fact that he has no shame in
Nope.
wanting to stay where he is and just rock out. And if
Yeah.
he just ends up being top 5 scorer ever and just crushing it for the Blazers, Word.
Yeah. I
Maybe the
mean,
Blazers can afford some help or something.
so I'll never be a professional sports player, but in my sort of mindset, I can understand the idea of like I got drafted by this team. I've been doing well with them for years now. The likelihood of like demanding a trade, going somewhere and winning off that trade is so not likely, especially in like the current league where like we've seen like super teams like the Nets. Like we got a KD, James Harden, Kyrie Irving team that didn't win more than one playoff series. So
Yeah.
it makes complete sense to me if you're in his position of being like, maybe I get like a good young team and maybe we make the playoffs or get some good guys maybe in free agency or something. We have a shot, but I can just sit here, enjoy the area, enjoy the city, just like locate myself. Like I saw an interview with Christian McCaffrey a few weeks ago, where he basically said the same thing. It was like he thought he was going to be a Panther forever. He was completely fine with the one appearance and just living out his life in Carolina and like that being his spot. And sometimes it works out that you just stay there and it works. And sometimes it works out that you don't, but you go down in the history books as one of the greatest to ever do what you do. So I think I saw an interview with Dame that might have been a little bit arrogant where he said something about like, they're scared of me and like the potential I have. And like, yeah, he's got really good potential, but I don't think this Portland team this year, probably not even next year, has a shot.
But he's out good. He's going to be out here scoring
He's gonna be
70,
out there. Yeah,
80, 90 points
exactly.
whenever he plays. So
This
shout
was
out to
his
Dame.
third time in a row. He's the only player in the last. Okay, so he broke the Blazers scoring record and he had the record. And then he broke it again and he set it at 61. And then this season he broke it again and he set it at 71. So now he has like the top 3 scoring appearances in the Trailblazers. And he
Next year,
tied, he's
81.
gonna break it a 4th time. he he yeah, he hit 13 3-pointers and they won 131 to 114 over the Houston Rockets.
And
So
that's how sad the Houston Rockets
if
are.
I'm him, I'm feeling pretty good.
Hell yeah.
And
I
as a
agree.
fan of him, I'm feeling pretty good too. So
Yes. Shout out to Dame Dollar. I need to get me a Portland jersey myself. That will
yeah,
be
you should get the blue one, the PDX one. Have you been to Portland, Oregon?
no, but I know I really want that one too because
Yeah.
the PDX is based off of the carpet in
It's the carpet in
Oregon.
the airport. Yeah.
Oh, and
I went to Oregon. I toured 2 colleges. I toured Oregon Ducks, the
the
Oregon,
Ducks. Oh, amazing.
and I toured another school like in Oregon, Reed College. Very different schools,
Oh
completely
my
different schools.
gosh.
But both great schools, great people that I met, great people, opportunities I talked to. I applied to both. I want to say I got accepted into both or maybe waitlisted by one and then accepted in like the second round, but I didn't end up going to either. Part of me still thinks about like, oh, like what if I ended up there? But I just remember going there and that carpet is like, it's huge there. They love it. Like something
Yeah,
about it, it's just ingrained in their identity. And I might
there's
even go
a
out and buy a 3rd Dame jersey and get that carpet jersey.
if
Like
I can
honestly,
if I can find it, I will. Because I remember I was just saying to myself, it was available online, and I'm like, yeah, I'll get it, I'll get it. And then like literally it's sold out, and I'm like, oh,
yeah, yeah,
yeah, I'm definitely gonna try because I even just wanted just a PDX like long
yeah,
sleeve that you can
yeah,
get, and everywhere it's like sold out. But if
yeah.
if
It's a
if
great jersey.
anybody has a Dame Lillard
Hit us
jersey
up.
in that PDX jersey, hit us up with the Manly Musings Pod
All the
Instagram.
contacts are at the end of the video
Yes,
and in the description.
send all of them because me and Andrew need them. So
Yeah.
yes. All right. So now it just kind of goes into our topic for the day, which is March Madness.
Oh,
Or
I
did we
think you
miss something?
mentioned weekly sports update. KD plays tonight.
Yes.
First
First game
game
against the
with the Suns.
Suns. I
Yep. So
believe
this will
they're
come
playing the
out the day
Hornets.
after that. So yeah. So I believe they're wearing the white jerseys because they're in Charlotte. So
Okay.
this will come out after that game, but we'll have to see how that goes.
Yeah,
Interesting.
Very interested to see the dynamic between him, Devin Booker, and Chris Paul.
Yep.
I can only imagine how scary it's gonna look. But
It's definitely got high potential. That's
yes,
for sure.
yes. But we've talked our NBA for the last 2 weeks. Now it's time to talk some college basketball. So March Madness. So Andrew, to just talk to you how it works. It includes 32 Division 1 conferences, 36 teams. So 32 of them which receive automatic bids from their conference. So that's 32 Division 1 conferences in which
Okay.
are then you selected 36 teams which are awarded at large berths. So I sent you a link that pretty much talked about like pretty much whatever they so one of the things I don't know if we mentioned it in 2016 they brought in the first four, which
Okay.
is a couple days before the huge tournament starts of March Madness, where it's these teams are qualifying to be in the big dance. So there's
Oh, okay.
68, but technically the actual field is 64. So these four teams are battling out for two of the extra spots that are
Okay.
in like the actual first round.
Okay.
So I anytime I think of the first four, I think of when I was in college. I want to say either 2011 or 2012. No wait, that's not even that's before 2016. Sorry, but in that time frame, the
Mhm.
year or two after that, I just think of when VCU was one team that had to go through that beginning qualifying game
Okay.
and made it to the final four.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And that's what got Shaka Smart his job at Texas for some of those runs.
Yeah.
So the first four is a fun thing, just a little taste of March Madness before the actual madness, and it's a lot of fun. I think anybody that is into college basketball is, having all four TVs that possibly you could have on at the same time to watch all different games because they play on CBS, they play on TBS, TNT, True TV.
Oh,
Where the
wow.
hell is True
So
TV? Nobody gives a shit
it's with
until the
reality
tournament.
TV. Yeah.
So it's been fun. In that random Wikipedia page I found, it gives you the results by schools each year, which I think
Oh,
is
okay.
pretty cool. Um, so let's see if I could. So pretty much, yeah, like it goes through how many appearances they've had. It talks about like how many, where they've been in the when it comes to like results by their school, round of 22, or like they made it to the round of 32, Elite Eight. So it's really, really interesting. So let
Yeah.
me
So it looks like
see.
they're saying here that a lot of the conferences that it's like the Power Five conferences end up adding a lot of the teams that end up in the tournament, like the ACC, the Big 12, Big East, Big 10, Pac-12, SEC, and apparently to like more recently and to a lesser extent, the American A10, Mountain West, and WCC have been adding a lot.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
yeah.
it's been a lot. I'm trying to see like these are all this is like 62. What does that mean? So let's see. I want to see if they can organize it by school. Okay, so let's see. Where is West Virginia? Just because we are a West Virginia
Yeah.
podcast. So West Virginia, whenever it gets there, it's only a letter N right now. Oh, okay. Princeton, cool. Oh my god, I forgot it's all the way at the bottom. I should have done it the other way. Kevin, you're funny. Here we go. So West Virginia's had 30 different appearances, if I'm reading this right. And then 11. Oh, I don't know what the hell that 11 means. Oh, because it's so far, I can't even tell what the standings mean. Oh my goodness, I am a mess, Andrew.
Okay,
Oh,
here, wait.
okay, I found it. Okay, so that 11 means they made it to the Sweet 16,
11
and then
times.
the F4 is like Final Four,
Okay.
and then if they're in orange, they got a championship.
Okay.
So let's
Wow,
see.
this chart is huge.
It is whoever spent their time trying to
Respect
figure
to this
this out.
person.
Yeah, because it is far. Okay, yeah. So yeah, West Virginia
Goes all the
has
way back.
30 overall appearances, 11 that at least in the Sweet 16, and two that were in the Final Four.
Okay.
0 championships. Let's see. Who do you think has the most championships?
Well, I see UCLA has 11,
Yes. Yeah. UCLA with 11.
so that's
Uh
probably a good amount. They're probably
yeah,
high up there.
UCLA, Kentucky, 8,
It's pretty
and
good.
Merritt's North Carolina Tar Heels with 6. And our favorite guest, Cyrus
Blue
Johnson Jr.'s
Devils. It's freezing again. Duke is 5.
Oh,
Ugh.
I think I'm going to not flash back to. I think I know exactly what it is because I'm looking at the screen of it and I'm not on Zoom and I think it's timing me out.
Okay, that would make sense.
So I'm not going to
Um,
look at my screen anymore.
okay.
But if anything, what I was going to ask you is, are there any random teams that are like interesting? Like, oh, I didn't know they made it here that you see on that big crazy chart.
Well, okay, let's see. Okay, so Houston's made the Final Four 6 times, but never won.
Ooh, okay. Wow.
Purdue, they're really good this year, never won.
Purdue is
Um,
going to be interesting this year.
they've
Definitely
got
interesting.
2 Final Four appearances, 13 Sweet 16 appearances, so they're about due. Ohio State's got just the one. They won the first year, it looks like.
Really?
And yeah, if I'm reading this chart right, Ohio State,
Wow.
um, if I'm reading this right, wait, maybe am I being? Hold on. It was created 1939, and they had to do it. Oh, it's the idea of Ohio State coach. So they're credited with it, but I'm not sure if they won or not. Let's see. It could have been, this could have been lies. I could have been telling people the wrong things, and I apologize for that if I
Because I
did.
was saying, wow,
No, it looks like,
Ohio's.
I guess they say Oregon won the first one. My
Mm.
apologies, folks. That was on me. All the comments in the YouTube who didn't make it this far, shame on you for not watching the whole video before commenting.
Speaking of, I'm
And
going off
shame on me
topic.
for speaking things I don't know about.
I'm going off topic for like 2 seconds.
Of
Did you
course.
know that somebody commented on one of our YouTube videos?
Yeah, a few people have commented. A lot of the time it's like weird ad sponsorships that I like get rid of. Um, I'm not sure which one you're
The
thinking
one
of.
I'm referencing is from a day ago from our favorite Duke Blue Devil.
Oh,
I
Cyrus's
would
comment.
pay money to see Andrew play contact football.
I would play contact football. That's the thing. I would be terrible at it, but if any team in the country wants to give me a roster spot, let me know. I'll play some college football.
Oh my god, I
Um,
love it.
like I was saying last week, in 7-on-7 flag football in middle school and early high school and like the high school tournaments and like intramural stuff, I played a mean strong safety. So so let me know. I'm not headstrong, I'm not selfish. Like I'll fit to any idea of any coach. You want to give me a scholarship and a spot on the team, I'll suit up.
I love it. All
I
right,
got
so
hands too, so I can pick, but
there you
I
go.
can't promise I'm that fast.
So I'm very curious how Merritt's gonna talk about this segment. He's just gonna make fun of me losing on the camera, or be like, "You guys didn't even talk about anything."
No,
But
well, have we ever talked about anything? It's more Merit trying to keep us on pace when it's the three of us. So I think we're doing
yes,
pretty good, Kevin. We talked about a
I
big
think so
sports
too.
update.
I agree. I was
We've
gonna
had
ask you what is the next thing we talk about, just because I don't want to freeze the screen again.
Yeah. So we have here written down that conferences are intriguing, and we can compare our predictions to earlier in the season. So I can go up and we can wait. We'll do the comparison first, and then I'll have you talk about which conferences are getting interesting. So
Yes,
earlier in the year, um,
all the way
the
when.
teams that we earlier in the year, the teams that the three of you, Cyrus, you, Kevin, and Merritt, selected to win the tournament,
Mhm.
were UNC for Merritt, Houston for you, and Cyrus is being loyal to his Blue Devils.
And look who's currently number one right now, 27-2, the Houston Cougars.
There we go. You guys have that as your expected American Conference winner.
Mhm.
Merritt thinks Georgetown is going to win Big East, and you and Cyrus pick Creighton. Creighton.
Let's see.
Um,
Big East. Who did Merritt say?
Georgetown.
Okay, Georgetown is currently 7-23. Shout out to Merritt.
There we go, Merritt. Spot
Nice.
on.
Spot
Doing
on.
awesome.
That's
Um,
hilarious. Who did I pick?
Cyrus, you picked Creighton.
Creighton
No,
didn't even make. Oh, Creighton is fourth, and then Cyrus.
Cyrus picked Creighton with you.
Okay,
In the
so we're both
Pac-12,
wrong. All right, Pac-12. Go ahead.
Cyrus and Merritt said Oregon, and Kevin said UCLA.
UCLA currently first place in the
Here we
Pac-12.
go, Kevin.
Let's
Kevin's on a
go.
roll, boys. Big 12. Oh, no, Big 10. Big 10 first.
Okay.
Cyrus said Michigan State.
Okay, they're 17-11.
You said Illinois,
Okay, I'm 19-10.
and Merritt said Indiana.
Indiana's 20-9. So Merritt got the
We
Big
go, Merritt.
10 life. A little fun fact right now. In the middle of that, right under Illinois, number 8 in the conference, the Rutgers Scarlet Knights.
I will
Not
mention
bad.
that on your teams to keep an eye on list, you, Kevin Cueva, identified Rutgers and West Virginia Mountaineers as teams to keep an eye on.
Yeah, I'm excited. I think so because Rutgers, for some whatever reason, they got the coaching right, they got the recruiting right. They're keeping kids at home to
Yep.
play because they know they're at least playing in a great conference. So kudos to the team there. Ron Harper's son crushing it over there. Ron Harper Jr. when he was there, and I think their other son is gonna go there and play too. But yeah, let's keep this going. I'm keeping my ego up right now with all of these different standings.
Okay, so in the SEC,
Ooh,
Cyrus identified Auburn as his pick.
I can't even see Auburn in the list. Oh no, they're number 6. All right,
Merritt picked Tennessee,
okay, 21-8. Number
and you
4,
picked Kentucky.
Kentucky currently 20-9.
There we go.
Yes,
In the
but
ACC,
there. Go ahead. We're gonna keep going, but I was gonna bring something up.
okay,
But go ahead. ACC. What do we got?
Cyrus picked Duke.
Okay.
Merritt picked UNC,
Uh-huh.
and Kevin picked Miami.
Miami is 23-6,
There
second
we
in the
go,
conference
Kevin.
right
There we
now.
go, Kevin.
The awkwardest thing though, first place in the conference, who we beat in the beginning of the year by a lot,
Oh,
the University of Pittsburgh.
ooh,
Yeah, super interesting.
yeah.
All right,
Um,
ACC,
okay.
and who else we got next?
We got just the Big 12 left.
Okay, Big 12.
Cyrus picked Baylor, who I believe is top 3, number 3,
Yep.
yeah, 22 and 8. Merritt picked Texas Tech. It's not a great pick now. It's 16 and 14. It's a bit rough, Merritt, not gonna lie. And Kevin picked Kentucky.
How did I pick Kentucky?
I don't know. I'm looking at it and I'm thinking you might have meant Kansas. Oh, wait, no, wait. I think you have these backwards because in the SEC you have Kentucky, and in Big 12 you have Kentucky written, and in the SEC you have Kansas written.
Shout out to Merritt.
So I think they're
mixing up the
backwards.
conference.
I'm gonna switch them right now, so they're back to right.
Amazing.
But their Kansas is
Number 1.
25 and 5.
So if we did the math right, did I literally like guess the highest out of like
Yeah.
4 out of the 6?
You were probably top 3 in 5 out of 6, and you were 4. I think of them were number 1
out of between like all of our picks.
Yeah, 7 picks. Yeah.
Wow! Shout out to me.
Yeah,
I don't
you
know
all
that
picked
much.
Houston, so you all have the Houston
At least
Cougars.
one. Okay.
But yeah, it's so you've we already mentioned Cyrus thinks Duke's gonna win the Madness. You think Houston's gonna win the Madness, and Merritt's riding with UNC. Cyrus is at Wake Forest is a team to keep an eye on.
How did
Kevin...
Wake Forest do? Let's see where Wake Forest is. I believe that's an ACC team. Wake Forest. Oh, not bad. They're currently 18 and 12 in the conference. So that's 8th out of the 16. It's pretty cool.
Okay.
All right.
You picked West Virginia and Rutgers?
Yes, I picked West Virginia and Rutgers, and Rutgers is not bad right now. Beautiful.
And then Merritt picked the Louisville Cardinals.
Ooh, Louisville. Let's see where the Louisville Cardinals. The ACC, Louisville. Ooh.
How are they?
Let's just say this. They don't even have double-digit wins.
Okay.
Here, you want to know what the record is, Andrew?
Yeah, I would love to actually know the record.
4-25.
Okay, so if we learned anything in this podcast right here, Kevin and I aren't great at internet connection and staying on topic. Merritt's not great at picking March Madness teams.
Yo.
Way too ahead of time, though. Just keep in mind, this was like 20-something episodes ago, so almost months.
I want to know what in bloody hell did he think that Louisville was going to be a team to, I guess, did he mean the team to watch out for because they were going to be that bad?
We'll have to go back and look. In the video, I can look and see. And I might insert a clip. I might not. We'll have to see.
Yeah. But FYI, Andrew, your face is currently frozen on my end.
Your face is currently frozen on my end.
But at least we can still hear each other.
We can talk to each other
now. So I'm good with that, and you can put in some elevator music out here. Just.
Oh, and I believe he's gone, guys.
So everyone, the technical difficulties have gone crazy today. So we apologize. This is why Merritt is usually the one in charge of this stuff, because then
got
Kevin,
that Long Island internet.
Yeah, exactly. So, all right, what do we got left, Andrew? I don't think we have too much.
Okay,
before my computer blows up.
Before Kevin's computer blows up, I think we scrap guessing this year's Final Four until we get closer.
Okay.
We can do that in a later episode. So we're gonna pick intriguing conferences, and then we'll outro and we'll get out of here.
Yes. So for me, I was looking at the conferences while my computer was reloading.
Yeah.
And intriguing conference champions, I'm very interested to see who wins the Ivy League.
Yeah.
Everyone is kind of like even here. You got Yale at 18-7, Princeton 18-8, UPenn 17-10, and then the rest is kind of like, they're like in the middle of the pack. But from being from Jersey and uh Princeton, seeing if they can make it to the tournament. I know like Ivy League with their like specialties and like shooting. That's always fun to watch when you're watching a tournament. And if
Yeah.
I could pick another random conference, I would go.
He froze. He definitely froze again.
Oh my god,
I'm not even
guys!
gonna like unslow down the video from when you last joined. It's just gonna like continuously just part of the fast forward.
Oh
So
my god! All right, guys, we're gonna outro it so we can at least save this video. But I was just trying to say my conferences were underrated, but apparently Zoom doesn't want me to. So outro time. Shout out to Andrew, producer, for dealing with my technical difficulties. I need to
of
sort
course.
this out because Merritt's gonna yell at me if this doesn't get sorted out. So
Yeah, there's gonna be stuff in the group chat about this for sure.
yes. So with this, make sure if you're watching this on YouTube, you are gonna have a hell of a time
Yes,
enjoying
sir.
this one. Uh, at our page, the Manly Musings Podcast. Make sure you follow us at our Instagram at the Manly Musings Pod. Remember to listen to us at Apple Podcasts, Spotify. What's the other one? Google Play and Amazon Play. Make sure you go ahead and follow Andrea A. Melville 56, Merritt at Merritt_P. Follow me at KQuaver624. This weekend's going to be amazing because me and Merritt are going to Boston at the TD Garden to watch the Knicks play the Celtics. And
Yep.
make sure you tune in for the We Out Here episodes that are going to be releasing soon. So take
Yeah,
care. Go
there's one
ahead.
that just came out, and then the Clippers one should come out right after this episode comes out, which should be towards the end of this week, first few days of March.
Okay. The next one, you
Yeah.
mean?
No, the
Cool.
Clippers. Yeah, no, the next one. Yes, I'm sorry. The Clippers one came
Yes.
out a while ago. Go watch that if you hadn't. It's a good
There's a
episode.
lot of views on that one too.
Yeah, that one's doing well. There's a quick update on the channel. Those of you who might, I don't know if anybody, one of our more viewed videos has been copyright striked for a ridiculous reason. I'm currently sorting it out with YouTube. It should be back up within a month or so. But if you're looking for that video and you can find it, it's a great video. It's got drunk Kevin and Merritt at the end. It's great. But it will be back. It's just off right now.
Yes. All right. You guys have a great week. Happy 1st of March. Peace, y'all.
Peace out.